My broke fiancé made me sign a prenup to protect his future millions. 10 years later, it protected mine from him. Your Honor, my client is entitled to half of her assets. Mark's lawyer said it like it was already decided. My attorney didn't argue. She just smiled and slid a worn folder onto the table. Actually, Your Honor, there's a prenuptial agreement. I watched the color drain from Mark's face. That piece of paper was his idea, and it ruined him. I met Mark when I was 21. I was juggling 2 jobs while taking community college classes at night. He was finishing a business degree, fully funded by his parents. They weren't rich, but they acted like they were, especially when they talked about a distant uncle who supposedly had serious money. They spoke about that inheritance like it was already deposited. When Mark proposed, I thought I'd made it. Love, stability, a future. Then I met his mother properly. At our engagement party, she looked me up and down. My thrift store dress, my worn shoes, and asked loudly, "So, what does your family do?" My mom cleaned houses. My dad died when I was 12. She smiled the kind of smile that answers its own question. 2 weeks before the wedding, Mark invited me to dinner. His family lawyer was already seated. "It's just a formality," Mark said. "My parents want to protect future assets." The lawyer slid a thick document toward me. Everything earned during the marriage would belong solely to whoever earned it. I hesitated. Mark leaned in. "If you love me for me, this shouldn't matter." Across the restaurant, his mother watched. So I signed. What none of them realized was I wasn't giving anything up. I was locking everything down. The first few years were rough. Mark bounced between jobs, always waiting for his real life to start. Then the uncle died and left every cent to charity. Mark spiraled. I didn't. I started a small web development business in our garage. Taught myself coding at night. Took contracts during lunch breaks. Worked weekends, holidays, 18-hour days. Mark complained I was never home. By year 7, I had employees. By year 10, my company was valued at $12 million. Mark hadn't worked in 3 years. Then I found the messages. Her name was Jessica, 24, 8 months deep. Apartment paid for with my money. Jewelry bought with my money. I didn't confront him. I called my lawyer. 2 weeks later, he filed for divorce. He wanted half my company, plus $15,000 a month in support. In court, he looked confident. "Your Honor," his lawyer said, "my client sacrificed his career to support his wife." My lawyer calmly handed over the prenup. Mark blinked. He'd forgotten. The judge read silently, then looked up. "This agreement is valid. All business assets belong solely to the petitioner. Spousal support denied." Mark stood up furious. "She was nobody when I married her." The judge replied, "Sir, according to this document, that was your choice. Divorce granted." I walked out into the sunlight. My driver opened my car door. Mark stood on the curb with nothing. He built that trap himself. I just had the patience to let it work.